I would go downtown to a populated area and make friends and influence people and help them with what I know they need most, which is their health. Make friends, influence them to make the right decisions, and wash and repeat. Okay. I mean, talking to people you don't know is where this business really, really explodes.
Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan. I'm fired up to bring our special guest today. He's definitely special, an amazing leader, good friend of mine. And this is the third time he's going to be on MLM Nation. So, you know he's got the goods. Anyway, we have Ian Farrar. Ian, are you ready to make it happen?
Always ready. It was really great meeting you. I think it's close to over a month now in person, finally in LA in your hood. But I'm super excited to be here today.
And for those who don't know Ian has over 27 years of network marketing experience and is the founding brand partner for his current company, which he's been with for over 20 years. He's an elite cyclist and is known as the networker athlete. This is, like I mentioned, the third time on MLM Nation. You can check out his previous episodes on episode 391 and 672. So Ian, welcome back. And why don't you take, for those who don't know you, why don't you share a little bit about your journey? You have a very interesting background. How did you go from there to do network marketing?
Wow, it sure is an incredible journey. I was actually at an event. I was invited to compete at the ESPN2 Extreme Games in 1995-96. I was actually inline speed skating at the time. Most people know me as a cyclist, but I actually crossed over to inline speed skating, was racing distances of 30 to 60 miles. It was right when inline racing was really, really hot. And, this was like kind of just an event that wasn't really showing your endurance prowess. It was like this downhill event, and I really wanted to have any part of that because it looked kind of dangerous. And I met my first sponsor in the industry, Ed Ives, who's actually a silver medalist in the 1984 Olympics in rowing. And he prospected me, and I said, "Oh, is it one of those things?" Well, I'm really happy that I embraced that first company, and that's where my career began. So if it wasn't for sport, I don't think I would have met a really, really great first mentor sponsor in the industry. So I'm very thankful for my athleticism back then. And I continue to be an athlete today. And as you shared, I'm the business athletic networker.
So you said when your sponsor met you, your immediate reaction is one of those things. What made you decide to join?
Well, I wanted more free time because, I wasn't earning significant big contract. I think I was getting maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a month, from the sponsors that our team provided. And I still was, catering, doing some like modeling jobs in New York and just trying to do a lot of different things to make ends meet. And I just really wanted time to focus on my sport. So I started to really research the industry. Spent a lot of time in bookstores, couldn't really afford to buy those books. I read the beginning books, Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell. I think it's just when it came out, like 25 plus years ago. And I was like, wow, I can do this. And I wanted it so bad, Simon, to the point where in my first company, I was kind of figuring out that wasn't the company that was going to lead me to Happy Valley, but the business model was. So I stuck with the business model, but I changed things up.
Well, why did you change? So you said you felt that company wasn't the right fit. I think many of listeners may be there, right? Why?
Well, this is the reason why. I mean, all the stories that I was reading about in all the Wave 3, Wave 4, Wave 5 books were consumable driven companies. And I was with a hardware sales company. I was with a company that sold a great water machine. It's still sold today. That company launched in 1970. Very thankful for that company. Still a great product, but it was transactional sales. And I was reading about, the companies that we know that have been around a long, long time, and people were making significant 5-figure monthly incomes over time. And I was like, well, I really want to earn that type of income And I don't want to be, chasing my next sale, to make that, that heavy-handed commission. So it was an emotional change for me, because in the first 6 months of that company, I became Rookie of the Year and did really well, but I transitioned into consumables, and that's where I am today, very happily.
You say you were the Rookie of the Year in the first 6 months. While most people who are listening, they may be struggling. What are some things you did that created success for you?
Be incredibly passionate about your product 24/7. I really believe in the 3-foot rule. I mean, I'm an old school networker. I mean, I've been in the industries, for a little over a quarter of a century now. And, this device right here, this smartphone, it didn't exist when, my buddy Joel and I, got involved together. I mean, he's still with me 27 years. Think about that. How many people are with the same person for 27 years? So for me, it was a burning desire. And I met him at a catering job. I met him, I introduced him to the business model, and millions of sales volume later, we're really lighting this up. So it's a burning desire to have enthusiasm 24/7 through the ups, the downs, and embracing and romancing the business model. Now, your company may change in your career like it did for me over 20 years ago, but my dream and my passion about the network marketing business model, I mean, listen to my voice today. I'm just as excited about it now as I was back then. So that's always been my driving force. Now, wrapping a product around that is also my passion too. So it's kind of twofold.
How do you maintain, because we definitely hear your enthusiasm, how do you maintain that enthusiasm where you're not getting results?
Listen, quitters never win and winners never quit. And, it goes back to my athleticism. I mean, if I told you all the stories, especially in my first roadways win back in 1991, okay, I was, June and July were never my months. It was normally March and April, where I had my first peak. And I went to a bike race in upstate New York, Lake Placid, very hilly road race. And I said, to my teammate, Jim, I'm not feeling good. I think I'm going to drop out. This isn't my day. It really isn't my day. I mean, I was kind of uphill time trial. I got 35th place. I'm pushing squares. And I was like, it's not really happening. He's like, Ian, hang in there. You definitely have what it takes. And I always get emotional telling the story, because it was the last 10 kilometers of the race. And I'm sure you watched the last 10 kilometers of a Tour de France stage. It was getting crazy. And Jim goes, get on my wheel. And I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I found my wings and I came off his wheel with 200 meters to go. And I won that road race, I think by 10 meters. And I took the race leader's jersey that day. So when you don't think it's going good, you got to stick with it, because there is a breakthrough and there is a lesson of why you're going through what you're going through. And if you stick with it long enough, you'll meet that superstar prospect. You'll meet that person that will purchase your products. And it's like the clouds go away and there's blue sky and there's sun shining on you. And that's what happened. Now, the rest of that race, I wound up finishing third overall because I had really no teammates. Jim was not on the same team, but he was my teammate because we went back and he took care of me. But I was the only guy on my team. So I got third overall. I made the podium, won a stage, got fifth in the last stage. But the moral of the story is that you got to keep on keeping on. You got to stick with this industry. You got to stick with this business through thick and thin, because we all go through the same thing. I mean, as successful as I've been in the industry, we all have our days. And I always go back to my cycling. I always go back to my experience as an athlete, because your mind will play tricks on you.
Mm. Give me some examples of the mind playing tricks on you.
Well, this is a classic. Okay. And, I don't think I'm good at this. I don't really think that, I'm going to be successful in this industry. I can't be like that person. I really don't have the gift of gab. I really don't have the enthusiasm. I really don't have that showmanship. I don't know everything that there is to know about my products or this business for that matter. So those are all self-limiting beliefs that people tell themselves to talk their way out of this business. Because as you know, This is an easy business to get in, and it's an even easier business to quit. Okay. I could have quit many times. And I mean, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of distributors are in my company that I actually helped launch. I actually recruited my company, okay, 21 years ago. And all those people wouldn't have had the opportunity. All the health wouldn't be enhanced if it was that I quit.
Yes. And I still remember, like, you recently, like, I think we met in July, right before I went to New York for those baseball tournaments. And you were actually at that time sharing with me when we met up. We met for like 1 or 2 hours talking about you are looking for the next leader. You were stuck, right? You wanted to get to the next level. And then, of course, you like, and I'm just vouching for you because a lot of times people are leaders, and I've seen Ian, it's up and downs. And he was at point, Simon, I really need that leader. I'm close. And then like 2 weeks later, you got your leader.
Yeah, it's a real blessing. And I really believe that, if you're a person of faith, you really believe in thyself and you believe in the God, on the God and the creator, okay, you'll be provided for. If you're doing good, okay, more often than not, your time will come. You just have to be patient. It's not going to come instantaneously. Okay. Success for me in this network marketing business did not come instantaneous. Okay. I didn't start seeing real success, until like my 10th year in the business. Now think about that for a second. There are people on my team that have actually outranked me, and that's okay. Now it's still part of my lineage, which is a blessing. But Simon, right after that conversation, man, I mean, I literally got a message. It was kind of like, God got the phone call, and, we were blessed with a wonderful leader, and I'm always looking for the next one. It's not like I'm just going to be like, okay, now I'm all set and I'm going to sit back. I mean, I'm always in it to win it. Just launched a new team on Puerto Rico. They need the products down there more than ever. And I'm just always in it.
Yeah. And I think it happens when you least expect it. I think when we were meeting, you didn't expect it that quickly. I think maybe it was less than 2 weeks since we met. You sent me a text. Oh, I got the person.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's after you left the hotel and I went up to my hotel room to change or something, I literally got the message. Okay. That person was actually shopping for the right leaders. And, that person has joined, okay? And that person has actually been on your show years ago, dynamite individual. I mean, the perfect mind commitment to what we're all about with my company. And it's just such a great feeling. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe in prayer. I believe that, when you're in service of others, when you're a servant leader, really, really great things will come. You just got to hang in there long enough for it to happen. It took me 3 years to get my first win on the bike. Top 3, top 5, scrambling. I'm like, why can't I crack the code here? So to find that next leader, it's the same thing. You just got to stay in it long enough to win.
You said that this guy was shopping for leaders, right? And I think a common question I get people, how do I get better people into my business? Well, talk about leaders who are shopping around for leaders until this guy chose you. What do these people look for? What do successful people look for?
Well, listen, some people chase the shiny object. They chase your lifestyle, okay? But there are a few people out there that are looking for that like-minded, high-frequency leader in network marketing that's committed to really, really running with that company's passion, mission, and have been in the game long enough, have been with one company long enough. I mean, how many people do you know today? Simon, you know a lot of people in this industry, but I've been with the same company for 20 years, okay? And people are looking for stability these days. And I think that's really, really important because, there's a lot of, popcorn happening. People pop over here, pop over there. And I think that's very unsettling for your network as you build a team. So they were looking for a home, okay? Because we don't buy a home every 2-3 years, okay? You buy a home to like live there and cultivate and grow a family, if you know what I mean. You get the analogy, for a long time. Okay. It's not flipping. It's buying a home, planning routes, and building a home.
Yeah, and you are definitely very consistent. Every time I go biking, like I get these text messages from Ian of him biking, whether it's in where are you right now?
I'm in Orlando, Florida right now. I'm actually in Orlando, but after we met, I went to Medellin, Colombia, where we have a home on this side of this huge mountain. I mean, I know you could climb up into the mountains in California where you live, but it's flat here. But sometimes I send you that smiley, all branded picture.
Yeah, or different places biking, whether it's in Florida or Colombia, definitely very consistent. Now, you said that it took you 10 years. I mean, you made some money, but not having real success, right? What happened? On the 10th year, what was an aha moment or something that happened that gave you that real success?
It was attracting a significant leader that was really in need of what we had to offer and my knowledge around it, to be honest with you. My dear friend, Kathy Agata, who is, she's no longer with us, but, she built ginormous businesses. And she said, Ian, I really need your help. And that was the huge catalyst because of the health need. Okay. And what she has given and shared, that was the first major leg up. Okay. Because prior to going full time with my company, I had a nutritional brokerage because it was the next best thing. But that was the major catalyst for me to go full time. And my last pretty big product line that I had, selling it to all the health food stores in New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, up to the Canadian border. They let me go after 11 years on December 26th of 2012. Okay. That was 11 years ago. And I had no choice but to go full time with my company. 2 months prior is when my dear friend Kathy joined me. So you could kind of see that major leg up. So she was the major catalyst, and she actually helped the company cultivate what they really needed to attract significant leaders of like-minded people to bring us where we are today.
That's awesome, man. Like you said, you know what? You shared it. Stick with it, right? It took you 10 years, but then it's totally worth it.
Yeah, it was 10. Dude, that was like 11 years ago now, and I've been full time for a long time. I mean, like you said in the beginning, I made money like my first month. But not the 5-figure monthly income that I always read about. I always wanted to join network marketing to make $10,000 a month, and now I make multiples of that a month, and it boggles my mind that this has become my reality. But if you think it's real, it sure can become your reality. So, it blows my mind. I used to sit in bookstores on Barnes & Noble, 17th Street, Union Square. You've been to Union Square. And I used to read all the books because I couldn't afford to buy the books. So I used to spend my time reading the books. And once the mindset was there was no turning back. I knew that my day would come, and I'm far from over. I'm still building. Most people are just like sitting back once you get to a certain rank, but I'm still in it to win it and helping other people do the same, Simon.
You said you had the mindset, your day will come. And sometimes it's easy to say it after you had it. But when you were struggling, when you were reading the books at the bookstore because you can't afford to buy it, how did you keep feeding that voice? Because the other voice is like, oh, come on, Ian. Stop fooling yourself. It's been a while. Is it going to work? You don't have, like you said, you're not good enough. It's not meant for you. You're in the wrong company with this and that. How did you know your day will come?
Because I put my athlete's hat on because I'm like, oh, what's it going to take for me to go across the finish line first? Okay, I know I'm one of the fastest sprinters, best regional guy. What's it going to take? What's it going to take? So I went back to that, and I go, I'm happy I didn't quit when I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and I had the experience that I did. So for me as an athlete, because not everyone's an athlete, but I created a neuro association, the anchor to that breakthrough. And I knew I was going to have the breakthrough in this business, because the biggest downfall in this business is people quitting before they get to the finish line. Okay. Yeah. And going through the finish line, because when you look at a finish line, okay, there's the front of the finish line, and then there's the back end of the finish line. Okay. It's the back end of the finish line that's the goal, not the front. Okay. But then there's other finish lines. And like, for example, the top rank in my company, That's the next finish line. And then I'm going to help my company create higher ranks. So for me, I mean, at soon to be 55 years of age, I've never been more motivated than ever. I've been in this business over half my life. And I want to inspire everyone that hopefully will see this interview, that all of you are potential walking around. You just got to stick with the game long enough to win the game.
Yes, amen. Hey, speaking about sticking around, how important is consistency to success?
It's everything. Okay. I mean, I'm changing it up these days. Like I'm in the gym one day and then I'm riding 25 miles the next day. And in order for me to get the body results, I need to be consistent. I need to strengthen my core. I need to strengthen my upper body. I need to get the miles in to achieve the results that I desire. I'm not racing anymore, but I have body goals. I've never had a better physique because of my consistency goals. Okay. As my wife, if she was on this right now, okay, she says, I don't know anyone more consistent than you. Okay. Because some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. And I'm not going to be that person waiting. I'm going to be that person willing to do whatever it takes. So consistency in your business. I mean, how many conversations could you have a day? You're out and about. Too many people, unfortunately, Simon, check it out. See this phone right here? Too many people are hiding behind the phone. They're hiding behind social media. I mean, if people want to meet fitness-oriented, health-oriented people, just park out in front of an Orange Theory or a Whole Foods and have conversations with people. Because guess what? It's like one big laboratory out there. You could just ask questions and practice on people offering your product or service or whatever network marketing company you're affiliated with. I mean, it's getting out there and speaking to people. I think this is where our industry has really lost its way. You got to get out there and meet people and share. And consistently doing that will help you create opportunity.
You said the 3 feet rule before. And I think most people knew that. But I think, like I said, people hide behind the phones now. It's kind of like a forgotten skill. How do you do the 3 feet rule? So just say we are in Whole Foods, right? And standing in a line and I'm right in front of you. So let's role play. What would happen?
Okay, well, if I see your cart that has some green foods or nutritional supplements, because I'm certified in nutrition and I have a lot of depth of experience in that. I see you're pretty into your health. Would you be open to taking a look at some products where you can get delivered directly to your door and not come to a store like this? Just a question. Open-ended question. Are you open to taking your health and fitness to the next level? Because I already see that you got some great stuff there, because I'm actually with a health-oriented company. And it's a conversation wherever I go, because, everyone needs health. Okay. Everyone drinks water. Everyone needs to breathe cleaner air. So it's a question. So if you get creative with your questions, you create curiosity. It's not about selling. It's about really asking someone what they're looking for, Simon.
So what happens if I say, yes, I'm interested? What would you do?
I said, well, fantastic. First of all, my magic question really is, are you open to taking your health, fitness, and income to the next level? That's my question. And if they say yes, which one of the 3 are you most excited about? And if they say smiling, well, all 3. So I open up my boards app, which is an excellent platform that a lot of companies are using. And then I share with them 3 videos that hopefully will pique their interest about their health, about their fitness, and about how they could earn an additional income with my business.
So you open the board, say, I'm in the checkout line. I got to go, though. I don't have time to look at your boards app. So what happens?
Well, I said, if you don't mind, can I just get your phone number or your email address if you're more comfortable with that? And I could just share you, some brief information. And last question, is it okay to follow up with you? I really like getting permission, because people are getting bombarded with being sold. So when you ask permission, it's like, wow, this person is really courteous. This person really, really cares. I've been a relationship rover my career. Okay, this is why my partner Joel and I have recruited more people than anybody in the whole company. He has recruited over 2,000 people. I've 1,148 people recruited, customer, brand partner, whatever. And we're just relationshiping. We're asking questions.
So what happens if you ask that question? Like if I'm open, I'm like, no, I'll give you a weird look.
Next.
Then what do you do? Next. So what? So how do you get over that rejection? Because I think a lot of people they're scared of that. So what tips?
Yeah, I mean, rejection is is the best thing for you. I mean, the Babe Ruth story. Babe Ruth is known as the home run king, but he struck out the most. So some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. I mean, Joel and I used to go down to Wall Street in some really, really mediocre suits and just ask questions all day. We got called every name in the book. Good luck with that. All the words, if you know what I mean. And we actually it built character. Okay, because humanity could be very kind and humanity could be very, very mean, if you know what I mean, when it comes to offering this type of opportunity with all of the ignorance around it, unfortunately.
Yes, and a big shout out to Joe Calandrio. I know he's been featured on MLM Nation podcast as well. Definitely check out his episode. We'll put a link in the show notes page. Hey, Ian, you have been amazing. I could talk to you forever, but we're going to wrap up. I appreciate your time. Some quick questions to pick your brain. Okay, these can be quick one-liners. The first one is, what is your favorite success quotes? One of your favorite success quotes that motivates you?
Well, you find your freedom in your discipline. That's applicable to this business in every aspect of your life. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Hope, helping other people excel. There's 3 for you.
I love that. People excel. Hope is help other people excel. I love that. Never heard that one before.
If you focus on hope, okay, your success is unlimited.
What's one habit that's helped you become successful?
Consistency is my middle name. And no doesn't mean no. No means not now. And fortune's in the follow-up.
What is your best piece of advice you ever received?
Best piece of advice is run with your passion and don't let anyone take your enthusiasm, your passion from you.
What is your favorite prospecting tool? I think you mentioned that. Your boards app, that'll be the favorite one.
In terms of technology, Simon, yes. But my favorite piece of technology is my brain and my communication skills. That is your greatest asset in this business.
What is your favorite app on your phone that's not a social media app?
Well, would you consider boards to be social media app?
I guess the boards.
Boards has been, we had an app, and then this is just, you could like connect it with your keyboard once you have the person's contact, and you can continue to have those conversations. So I really love that technology. I'm more of a dinosaur with tech, but I know my way around things. I do use Facebook. I do use Instagram, but I'm more of a belly to belly guy. I still love meeting people. We just had an event in South Florida with Joel and Eric, by the way, who's been on the show too. I love those guys. We had about 30 to 50 people there, and it just was just like, it was in person, and it was that vibration that you can't get on Zoom.
What are 2 or 3 books you will recommend?
Your First Year in Network Marketing by Mark Yarnell, who contributed tremendously to the industry. I'm a big fan of Richard Bliss Brooke, the 4-year career. I had an amazing opportunity to have my story in there on page 102, 12th edition. I read his first book, Mach 3 with Your Hair on Fire, back in the day. Of course, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, because it's really building your mind. You want success in this business, it's all up to how your mind works around it. It's that simple.
And here's the last question, the $1 million question. You ready?
Ready.
Imagine you had to start all over again and you knew no one, but you had all your current knowledge, skills, and wisdom. What's the first thing you do or the first place you go to build a network marketing business from scratch?
I would go downtown to a populated area and make friends and influence people and help them with what I know they need most, which is their health. Make friends, influence them to make the right decisions, and wash and repeat. Okay. Talking to people you don't know is where this business really, really explodes.
So basically, a 3 feet rule. Any specific location in downtown, like a business district or coffee shop?
Not at a bar, not at a bar, not at a nightclub. Preferably, in a park or like at a flea market or something like that, like Lake Eola down here, Orlando, like on Sundays. And just, become a good listener, not just walk up to, really listen. There's people having conversations wherever you go. It could be a health related thing they're talking about. Not, they're disenfranchised with their job. And just listen. And you know what? I heard that you're having some issues with your job. I may have an income opportunity that you may be interested in. And boom, with people you don't know, people are looking for a better life today. So if I had to do it all over again, okay, I would have conversations the same way because I know this works and I need to align myself with the right group of people that want to work it and have the same vision, Simon.
Hey, MLM Nation, one last thing is you're amazing. What's the best way for our listeners can connect with you? And then do you have any last words or advice?
Yeah, well, the best way people could get in touch with me is on Instagram. It's I am Ian Farrar. So that's IAN FARRAR. Facebook, it's Ian Farrar. And for the people that are going to watch this that are looking for an opportunity, or for the people that have been in this for a long time and haven't had their breakthrough, that breakthrough will come when you have your breakthrough mentally, that this is something that you're destined to become successful in. Okay. So I've worked with thousands and thousands of people. Health is my passion. The business model is my passion, and I feel that I have the best of both worlds because I actually recruited my own company 20 plus years ago, and I'm blessed. I'm having the best time ever helping people win physically as well as financially.
Hey, MLM Nation, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And today you may hang out with Ian Farrar. So keep up the momentum and go to MLMNation.com, click on the podcast tab and the show notes or the nuggets of wisdom, and also the links to Ian's social media profiles will be right there. Definitely follow him and check him out and connect with him. Hey, in order to be successful in life and business and network marketing, you must help others. So Ian, thanks again for sharing your valuable time with MLM Nation. We're grateful to you, Ian. We appreciate you for having a positive impact on millions of distributors worldwide. Thank you so much again, and God bless you. Hey, MLM Nation, this is Simon Chan. We'll recap a great episode from Ian Farrar. Have my notes here, a ton of notes, and I want to share a few things, aha moments that you can apply. So we talked a lot about the 3 feet rule, and I think that 3 feet rule means whatever anyone that's 3 feet away from you, you go talk to them, right? And I think that, I'll be honest, when I first heard this, I was scared out of my mind, right? But you have to understand this is like a numbers game, and it builds mental toughness. Definitely highly recommend. I got one of my leaders back then in the 3 feet rule, and I just keep it simple and know that you are offering something to help people, right? If you really believe in what you have in your business, your products, your service, can really help someone, why would you not share it with the world? I think a lot of you, if you're listening to this, you have a huge goal, right? Mission to change, thousands of lives. Some people even tens of thousands or millions of people, whatever you want, what your vision is, right? How can you do that if you're not sharing it openly with others, right? And know that some, like you said, some will, some won't, some later on, someone's waiting. You never know. And share a story, Ian, awesome dude. And he messaged me and said, hey, I'm coming to LA. Let's hang out. And I said, all right, let's go. So early Sunday morning, right before church, I met up with him. And at that time, we met up for like an hour and a half until I got to meet some of his team members. Big shout out to Eric Mach, Joe Calandrio, leaders definitely you want to follow. I'll put them in the show notes link there. And he was telling me before I met with his leaders how like he was at the stage where he needs another leader, right? And he'd been building, recruiting, haven't found anyone. Recruiting, building new people, but haven't found anyone. But it is like what he said, stick with it. Winners never quit and quitters never win. And you never want to be in that management mode where you just recruit a couple of people and stop. And Ian's a great example of that because he was out there and like I said, maybe it was a day or two, whatever. He said it was 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever. Seemed to me it was like a week ago, but he found that leader just like that. And even when he found that leader, he didn't sign up right away. The leader watched him for like a week or two before he officially joined. Because if you want to attract better people, they're looking for those commitment, right? The commitment, the consistency, right? High frequency, high energy. And Ian definitely have high energy. Now, if you're not the one that's high energy, I'm naturally not the high energy type. I was just talking to a parent at a baseball game. Like, I'm introverted, but you learn to turn it on and then you can turn it off. You turn it on and turn it off. And when you're out and about, turn it on. When you're back home, you can turn it off, right? Maybe when you work out, like me, when I exercise, I turn it off, right? I'm running in the streets by myself, I turn it off. But when I'm with people, you got to turn it on. And I think that was one of the keys. Like, don't let the mind tricks that Ian talks about. I'm not good enough. I'm introverted. I'm not good. Hey, work on the mind. When you grow your mind, you have success. And that's the common themes. Like, the breakthroughs happen after the breakdowns. And for Ian, it took him 10 years before he finally got that huge breakthrough, able to go full time when he brought in that leader of his. And often that leader, again, is someone that you least expect and come in at the least, when you least expect it. For me, again, I brought in something, but things that I expected didn't happen. The person I least expected became that superstar, especially in the Philippines. The person I least expected became a superstar. The person I expected didn't happen, right? And also in the US as well. Some people like, well, really smart, business-minded, didn't work. Someone that was not business-minded, but had a huge desire at the time of his life. Like I said, some will, some won't, some was waiting. That person was waiting, became my top leader. So don't get discouraged. Keep focusing. You have to keep working on the mind and be careful of those mind tricks. I'm not good enough. I'm not there. I'm not, no one's interested, blah, 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 and so on. So anyway, very motivating show there. Definitely go check it out. Listen to it again. 3 feet rule. Learn to ask better questions. Okay. And I think everyone can get a lot of value out of this episode. Go make sure you go to the show notes page. Go to MLMNation.com. Click there. Follow Ian. Amazing leader. See what he's doing. Check in what he's out. And you know what? New school, old school. New school way works. Old school way still works. At the end of the day, we are still humans. And there's a lot of people out there. Like I said, if you ask better questions, you will find the needs. You will find people that want what you have to offer. All right, everyone. Hey, it's Simon Sham. I'm out of here. Go back and re-listen to this episode. Follow Ian. Also, these episodes are not free. It takes a lot of my time, Ian's time, to do them. And I know Ian's been traveling, just in the middle of his workout, came out to do this. So please definitely follow and leave us a review on, subscribe on YouTube and leave us a review on whatever podcast platform you do. And I read all the reviews. Anyway, thank you so much. Go out there, apply what you learn, and have a positive impact on someone's life. God bless you all.